Hi guys, welcome.
Yeah. No, no.
I'm not doing another. That's how I'll post it.
Hi
Hi guys,
guys.
welcome. I don't even mind. That's how I'll post it. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. PG, now this is unfair. Oh yeah, I would post it on. Let's do this again. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're coming across my video for the first time, this is Car Chronicles
Chronicles.
number 3, episode 3, and I'm so excited to welcome you to this very episode. And on this episode, I'm talking about something very unique and important, especially if you're single. So the news reaching me is that some of you are listening to social media advice saying, oh, don't get married while you are young. If you're in your 20s, you're meant to, be finding your steps and, finding your life. And kiniko kiniko, if you rush in, you will rush out. All those perspire to acquire. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, when do we, when did we have a meeting and agreed that a certain age bracket are the ones that are ready for marriage, while a certain bracket is not mature enough for marriage? It baffles me a lot that a lot of people try to, like, put their mistake or error, put it on other people by, in form of advice. And it's so amazing that those advice sometimes always seems like, oh wow, this is true, this is so true, because it usually seems like, oh, this thing actually makes sense, but in the real sense of it, it doesn't make any sense. I understand the part of, oh, be mature, find yourself, understand yourself, but if we're going to look at it in the real sense, you can never stop finding yourself. Never ever can you stop finding yourself. There are so many layers of you that it's just like an onion. There are so many layers of you that you are not going to even find out until you get to some seasons in your life. For me, there was a season when I was single, that was a layer. Trust me, when motherhood happened, I did not know myself one bit. It was a new season, and it took me finding myself. After my first child, breastfeeding, postpartum was a new season entirely. When I was having my second baby with a toddler, ah, my dear, it was another season entirely. There are so many seasons in life that you actually cannot be pre-informed. I don't know how best to explain this. You can't be pre-informed. Like, you cannot know how you are going to be when you get to this season. Like, nobody prepares you. Like, even people that have listened to so many YouTube videos, so many sermon about how to undo marriage, how to do this, how to do that, they are still going to tell you that every human being is unique. You can only pick advice from, here and there, but your marriage is unique to you and your partner alone. So if you're saying, oh, I want to find myself, how many layers do you want to unfold? Before you know it, you're already 70, because you can't stop unfolding. That is why God is God. You cannot have everything in one bit. It is not possible. But there are some certain things that needs to be in place for you to actually know that, oh, I am actually ready. And I'm going to use myself as an example, because I believe I'm in the category of people that actually married early. I married immediately after my master's program and had my kids immediately. So I think I'm of the category of people that can actually talk about, getting married early. And what were the things that I realized, or that I saw in my life, that made me think that, oh, I'm actually ready for this phase? I'm going to share about 4 things, and I just want you to pay grab attention, okay? So guys, as I was saying, one of the major things for me was the fact that I gave my life to Christ quite early, and I know how God speaks to me, and I've been walking in purpose. So, not just that I gave my life to Christ, but that I've been walking in purpose. Like, I know the call of God upon my life, I know the assignment that God has given to me, and I was already doing those things right from early age in life. Like, as at my 200 level, I was already organizing conferences as the Holy Spirit led me, down to different states in Nigeria, organizing conferences. At some point in my 400 level, it was secondary school outreach, reaching out to students, or pupil rather, in the local communities, the deeper part of Ekiti State. The Holy Spirit left the whole of Osun State where I was schooling and asked me to go to Ekiti State and give hope and courage and preach the gospel to the children in the local communities, letting them know that the mistake of their parent does not define them, letting them know that their environment does not limit their expectation or their possibilities in life. So many things that God actually laid in my heart, and God really raised men that actually sponsored that vision. We visited 11 secondary schools, giving them free books and free materials. So I had already gotten to a point in my life where I know how God speaks to me, and I know how to pick signals in the realm of the spirit. I understand my purpose, and I know where I'm going in life. It might not look like, oh, I might not have achieved it yet, I might not have gotten to that stage, but I know the things that God has spoken to me about me. And because I know that this thing about purpose is also going to influence the kind of person I'm going to marry, so it was important for me to actually know that I needed to understand my purpose before even thinking about marriage, even though I was still a bit young. That is one thing, and that is actually one of the things that will make a significant difference in your life, because whatever it is that the assignment that God has given unto you, see, forget it, you might not be called to the fivefold ministry. God has called everybody. We have all been called. Whether you receive phone call or you receive SMS or you did not even receive anything at all, the moment you are born again, know that you are called. And what have you been called to? We have been called to preach the gospel. Go ye into the world and preach the gospel. He didn't say be a pastor or be a whatever. The moment you give your life to Christ, you have been called to go ye into the world and preach the gospel. So wherever it is that you are preaching your own gospel, is your own pulpit, is your own ministry. There are so many assignments that God is rolling out to his children. So you just find yourself, because if you're able to understand your purpose, then your purpose helps you to actually align with the will of God for you. Adam was in the garden and he saw so many animals, but none of them fit the purpose that God has actually given to Adam. That was why when Eve came, it was not difficult for him to identify, because he already has a purpose. He was already working in the assignment that God gave him. So when Eve came, it was easy for Adam to actually understand that, oh, this is the bone of my bone, because we are going to work this work together. So you need to understand your purpose, you need to understand your assignment, you need to understand where you're going in life. Even though it doesn't look like it right now, you need to understand it, you need to know, you need to have pictures. And that is going to inform who you're going to settle with, because you cannot afford to settle with somebody that does not even believe in what you're doing or what you are going to do. That is very, very important. That is number one. Number two, that is also very, very important, is you must have been making informed decision in your life by yourself. See, I used to tell people, when I met my husband and I was going to introduce my husband to my parents didn't ask me questions. And when I mean they didn't ask me question, not like they didn't ask the normal question, oh, where is he from? Where is he this? Where is his family from? Things like that. Those are like natural, cultural, traditional questions that a woman will get asked when you're introducing your man. But when it comes to the concept of, oh, is it the one for you? Oh, have you prayed about it? Like, my parents didn't bother to like do so much about that, because I've made some decisions in my life that I've shown to them that I'm capable of making such decision, even though it was a very big decision. I've been making small, small decisions from when I was growing up, and they've seen that, okay, these are actually, it ended well. I would make some decision. Oh, I told my parents at some point, oh, I want to write jam, even though I was in SS2 at that point. They believed me and they said, oh, go ahead. And then I wrote it and I passed. When I told them, oh, I was going to gain admission, that God had told me that I was going to gain admission in 2015, they said, okay, that God is going to provide. And sincerely, my dad still told me that he didn't believe I was going to gain admission because my name did not even come out until December, when other lists have, was sent out, and even people had already resumed since November. My own name came out on December 18. I can never forget because it's one of the major testimonies of God's goodness in my life. How that the last list was released on the first week of December. And even somebody that I know in the school who happens to be one of the management already said that, oh, all the lists have been released, that he's sorry that my name is not among. When the list was eventually released, I heard that it was just about 9 people that their name was released on that admission list. And this same person that I said I knew in the management level, he said that in his years of being in the school, that another list has never been released at such a time, that he didn't even know. He said he wasn't aware. He was so shocked when I told him that I've gained admission. That is to tell you that this was actually the hand of God, and he himself was surprised. He said, no, this is actually the hand of God. That he has never seen it in his years of being in the system. That he has never seen such as, list that came out on the 18th of December. That was the same Friday that was the last working day of that year, because people were going on Christmas holiday. So when I eventually told my parents that I had gained admission, they were very surprised. But that did something to them. It made them realize that, oh, this girl, if she says she has prayed about it, forget it. God is going to do it. So they were trusting me based on those little decisions I was making. When God told me to go to Ekiti State and do a secondary school outreach in 11 secondary schools, I told them. They supported me because they've seen me make some decisions over time. So they supported me. When I was doing my book launch in my 400 level, they came with 2 buses and 1 Sienna, like the whole Ekiti. They came over to my school to actually celebrate my book launch with me. My parents came, my parents' friends came, Woliagba was there. It was really an amazing time that we had. What am I trying to say? You must get to a point in your life where you start to make, if your parents are still making some decisions for you, I'm not saying they shouldn't have input in your decisions, but if they are the one making the decision for you, then you probably are not ready for marriage. Because when it comes to marriage, there will be so many decisions that you will need to make on your own. I'm not saying you're going to neglect the input of other people, but it is important that you are able to sit down, sieve the advice that you have gotten from different angles, and then make a decision from there. The decision must come solely from your own wealth. Like after you have gathered everything, you must be able to sit down and now come to a conclusion by yourself. Because if anything goes south tomorrow, you must be able to say that, oh, I took this decision, I'm standing by it. So if you are not yet making such decision, your parents are still, making decisions for you. Your parents are still like a major influence over your life when it comes to decision making, then you might not be ready. And in cases like that, what you need to start doing is to start making some decisions by yourself. Let your parent begin to trust your decision. Let them begin to trust your words. Let them begin to trust your action. Let them know that when you say, oh, I've prayed about it, let them know that really you're afraid about it. There are so many things about your life that will begin to inform your parents that, oh, this person is actually ready. And it really even helps you to now begin to make some decisions about yourself. And it in turns translates to you making a good decision and being ready for marriage. Because there are so many times that your husband will just say, ah, what do you think? And by that time, the husband is say, what do you think? And I'm like, ah, you too, what do you think? No, 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 no. He was able to say, oh, dear, this is what I think the Lord is asking us to do, or this is what I think we should do, based on this and this and this. This is what I think we should do. Things like that actually helps you to make informed decision. The last but not the least that I'm going to say is that don't be influenced by social media. You have gotten to a point in your life where you have made some important decisions that have formed the man and the woman that you have become today. Don't let anybody downplay that. You made a decision to go to school, you passed with good grade. You made a decision to do your masters, you passed with good grade. You've made a decision about some important things about your life, and you have really done well with it. You started that business, you're thriving with it. Then what's making you feel like, oh, you have to be 100 years old before you make a decision about marriage? Don't let people impose their own failure on you, saying that, oh, my marriage failed because I got married early. No, your marriage failed because you didn't look before you leap. There are so many people that got married early in life and they are thriving and doing great and mighty things. Don't let anybody write their impossibility or their failure on you. And that's it, guys, because now we've got into church and I need to go and attend workers' prayer meeting. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.